Okay, today's Chase Chat is about the Great Commission. What is the Great Commission? So I'm just going to read the passage that has the Great Commission in it real quick and show you. And Jesus came and said to them, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age." And that's Matthew 28:18-20 ESV. So that is the Great Commission. That is the last command of Jesus' earthly ministry. So I was looking some things up about it. I just wanted to really talk about it. Just been something that's kind of been forefront of my mind this week, like most of the topics I choose. And one commentary kind of broke it down into basically three parts. I'm going to kind of reiterate this here and put them in my perspective. And the first part is mission, the missionary aspect of the Great Commission. And that is the part where it says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit." And this missionary part of the Great Commission is the part where we're supposed to go out and save non-Christians, and we're supposed to bring them into the church. Baptizing them also means bring into. It basically means bring into. One of the commentaries I read mentioned that in bringing people into the church in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And this missionary part is immensely important to realize that without this component, the next components don't exist. There is no church if we do not have those who we are bringing into the church, who we are bringing into the faith. We're making believers, making disciples of all nations. And this is something super important. It says all nations. It doesn't say one nation or one group or one ethnicity. It says all nations. And that's why the ministering and the outreach never stops. And the next part is the discipleship or pastoral part of the Great Commission, and that is like the maintaining part, where it says teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. That's the part where you are considering nurturing and growing those Christians that are either already in the church or just new members of the church, or becoming a part of the faith, a part of the body. So the missionary part of the Great Commission, while it's important, immensely important, it's very important to bring people in to be fishers of men. But at the same time, that is temporary in the life of the Christian. A Christian is only saved once. You're only brought to salvation once. So the next part, the discipleship part, the part where you grow in your faith or you help someone grow in their faith, is almost more important, because that is basically the rest of a Christian's life on earth. Learning from the Bible, learning from experience, and of course, exercise your own outreach and your own ministering. But it is so important not to neglect that your faith should not stay where it is. You shouldn't just get saved and just be, okay, I'm saved now, let's start doing this just day to day. No, we grow, we learn, we change maybe what we've thought about, what we've done, what our behavior is. We align ourselves with the teaching, as it says, all I have commanded of you, more and more each day, with help of discipleship and learning and the Bible, of course. And that is the discipleship part of the Great Commission, and that is a huge part. That is the majority of the time of the Christian life. And the third part is the encouragement part, and this is kind of like bolstering the Great Commission, putting kind of power behind it, as well as encouraging the receivers of this message. And these two parts are the part, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. along with the part where it says, "And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age." Well, the first part is saying Jesus now has authority over all the earth. So that means any issue, any threat that comes against the church, against us in our lives, Jesus has power over that. Jesus has power to save your mortal enemy. Jesus has the power to flip a bad situation upside down. And Jesus has the power to root out corruption in churches or false teachers. Jesus has the power to remedy so many issues in this world. And this is encouraging because it means that we aren't just going out there. We aren't just like preaching, just going out there and just like preaching to people. We have the power of Jesus and God behind us. He has all authority in heaven and on earth. And that is amazing, and that is encouraging. That means that I can go out fearlessly and witness for him, and fearlessly and teach those for him. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age. And this is basically the same thing. It's just, he's always going to be with us. He's always going to be behind us. He's always going to be helping us lead the charge against the gates of hell. In spiritual warfare, in witnessing, in ministering, in discipling. He's always going to be there. So, what can you do in the light of learning about the Great Commission? Where do you start? I mean, you're like, this is a big command. This is a big burden to bear. You really need to do this Great Commission thing. And I can tell you it's not easy. But first, you got to realize that it's not always going to be from a pulpit. It's not always going to be in a Bible study. It's not always going to be mentoring someone one-to-one. It just starts with planting seeds, as Paul says. It just starts with just a kind word or a word of encouragement or, of course, a word of wisdom. Something, maybe a verse that someone needed to hear. And just starting with planting seeds. It doesn't need to be a missionary journey. It doesn't need to be, again, the pulpit or a Bible study. It just needs to be a mindset. It needs to be, it needs to be a prayer at the beginning of the day where it's, Lord, help me find the opportunities. Help me find the opportunity where I can help fulfill your Great Commission. Show me them as I go throughout my day. So just plant seeds and just go into your day with the mindset of thinking, how can I fulfill the Great Commission? And that is the priority of all Christians everywhere. I'm Chase Carrington.